Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Tamiya, and it comes in 1/35 scale. This is a completely new tool kit which copies Tamiya Marder 1 as DECA 135, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see. And this kit was actually bought with your help, I really appreciate it. So we get a chance to see one of the latest releases from this company, and of course we will check the quality of these parts. Okay, so first of all, box size is typical for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have a typical, I would say, Tamiya box art. It looks okay, and we have two figures depicted, so they're included as well. Here is also the short list of the features, and on the side we will see some additional marking options, so maybe I'll close the camera even more so that it won't be that bright. Here you can see one winter camouflage and also two figures, and on the opposite side you will see another one in a gray color. So basically we get three marking options in this kit. Let's open it. Here is what we have inside. So as you can see, it is a classic Tamiya packaging. We have everything packed together with these staples. So I will have to use debonder this thing in order to open it, and then we will be checking everything one by one. In the meantime, let me remind you that you can support us by pressing the donate button on our website, and it's done via PayPal, so it should be really quick and safe. And of course you will decide how much you are ready to donate. And if you want to get some special bonuses, you can also use our YouTube membership program. So we have a join button here, and it actually gives you various benefits depending on the level you will choose. And again, all proceeds will be used in order to improve photo and video quality of our reviews, or maybe get new kits just like this one we are checking today. So first, plastic sprue. It is finished in this tan color, I would say, and you can notice that here we have hull parts, and maybe the white balance will be a bit off because camera does not like such shade, but I mean you can guess the classic Tamiya tan color. And note that overall molding quality is pretty much fine. We have some spare tracks here. We also have large panels molded as a single piece part, which is really cool because you won't have to deal with separate bits here and there. And if we zoom in, you can notice that we have nice external features as well. It includes rivets and various panel lines. Here you can see more of this stuff. And because this vehicle will be open, we have some interior detailing as well. And if I flip over this sprue here, you can see also some guiding elements which will be used in order to align everything together. I mean, it's really difficult to miss such huge pins, so some others will be delighted to see such thing included. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag, so just give me a sec. That's why I'm a bit surprised that some brands are still using the staples in their kits for packaging. I mean, it's not that cool to have this thing sealed like this. And of course, I mean, you can reuse the plastic bag in order to store your sprues, but it's not like a resealable plastic bag. Okay, so next we go on with more of the hull parts. Let's close the camera back again. We zoom out a bit. Now you should be able to see that here we have mainly parts for the lower section. So here you can see the bottom panel, these are side panels, these are top panels which will be on the beginning of the superstructure, if you can say so. And again, everything looks fine. If I zoom into this bottom section, you can notice that we have rivets and everything looks really cool. And if we flip it over, here inside you can see that we have also some internal details. This is actually the external side for these side panels, so it will be visible on the vehicle. And again, everything is molded nicely. And of course, attachment points are thin enough in order to carefully separate all this stuff and avoid damaging them during this separation process. Next, we go on with another plastic sprue. And here straight away I can see one part which will raise some questions. I mean, we are in 2020 and still we get such thing in the plastic kits. I'm not sure if it's understandable, because I mean, I would rather expect for such price ready pre-molded details, but here you can see that main barrel and its muzzle is divided into two halves, so you will have to combine them together, and frankly speaking, maybe it is better just to get the metal replacement and you will be good to go. I mean, you will spend more time trying to sand this part down, and you might even end up with some gaps. Even though this is a Tamiya, some of you might say, still it is a really, I would say, tricky spot. Also here you can see two figure parts. This is a typical parts division for this scale, and we can zoom in even further so that I can show you the suspension parts here. As you can see, they're molded as one-piece elements. We also have some tools here. Next we move on to another section. Here we have some parts for Tankman and also some elements for external features. And again, Tankman look quite fine, and I'm just checking why do we have several heads. So we have a choice of heads. You can notice that there are two heads included, and main barrel is here. There should be guiding elements, so if you flip it over, here inside you can see that we have, yeah, we do have some guiding elements for proper positioning of this part, but still it is really weird to see such parts design in a kit, which is not that cheap, to be honest. Next we go on with another plastic bag. This time it features pair of identical plastic sprues. So we will be checking only one, obviously, because all the parts are absolutely the same. Just give me a second to open it. And overall we have a really nice molding quality here. I will admit it. I mean, there are no things to complain about. The only thing which is really strange is the main barrel, because I was expecting to see a one-piece element here. So let's zoom out. Here you can see some parts. So just to remind you, this sprue is given in two pieces, and that's why we have here track parts and suspension parts, because they will go from both sides. Obviously we also have some ammo and some interior parts to hold this ammo, some towing hooks and handles here and there, so everything looks fine. It's really cool to see the plastic tracks. Finally Tamiya uses such part out of the box, so you won't have to deal with separate vinyl tracks. And you can see that they're pre-shaped. They have this wavy surface or wavy shape, just like on the top section of the track. And obviously the lower section is straight, so there are no bends whatsoever. And now I'm trying to open another plastic bag which is dedicated to decals. So as you can guess, and you saw on the box, the marking options are not that difficult to replicate. There are not that many symbols that you will need. And here you can see one and only decals sheet with all necessary symbols. Some of them might be even replicated with masks, for example these crosses. So definitely think about it, because it will allow you to get a more realistic appearance on your model. Next we go on with background information brochure. So it is quite, I would say, extensive. So let's zoom out a bit and close the camera. Now you should be able to see that here we have a short history note. It is accompanied with photos. We also have marking guide printed here in color, so all three marking options, as you can see. And of course we have some detailed shots of the real vehicle, and here you can see another drawing of the vehicle and vehicle parts. I'm not sure if there is an English version included, because I see only Japanese language, which is really surprising as well. Next we go on with some Tamiya tips brochure, so I think you are familiar with this. And one more thing is the assembly manual. So here it is. It's also a typical Tamiya brochure. We have some safety advices on the first page and recommended tools. Next we flip it over and assembly process starts with the lower hull section. You can see that it is built out of separate panels. And of course there are separate suspension parts, as you remember, so you will have to attach them one by one. Next we continue with road wheels, and for road wheels you will have to source some masks or maybe template, or just to paint it carefully with sharp brush, because as you can see there is a rubber section, so you will have to keep track of that. And why I'm a bit confused, because I do not see one part. Just give me a second. Oh yeah, so there are vinyl polycaps are included, they are here. I just did not notice them between two hulls, between two sprues. Next we continue with suspension installed from both sides. Here we installed tracks. As you can see, these are whole plastic tracks, so it will be easy to work with them and paint them. Next we have some hull panels, and one more thing. Actually there are more pages. So here we continue with exhaust. Some side panels for the main hull, spare tracks on the front. Here we have the right armor plate features, so some radio station, and also left armor plate gets detailed. Then they get into the spot, they get installed, and you can see also ammo installation. Next we continue with attaching armor plate here and there. You also attach various equipment such as these towing hooks. Here we assemble the jack, which is also fixed on the front side, on the glacis plate. And next here we have also cradle. Then we attach it to the hull, so it will be from the rear. Then we start working on the main gun, and as you can see it will be assembled out of several parts. And also the same can be said about the gun shield. As you can see, I hope you remember that it was molded as a single piece part here in the bottom, but you have to attach several parts more for a final appearance. And then all this stuff gets installed onto 2 points on the main hull, and as far as you can see, gun will be rotatable, just do not glue it here. Then we have painting guide and assembly guide for 2 figures. They will be placed exactly in the same position as on the box art. And here, of course, it will be strange to have these guys in the winter marking, so keep it in mind, because it would be strange to see people in a, I would say, normal uniform in a winter camouflage vehicle. And here on the last page we have some tips for the painting and decals application on the model. So this model should be already available. You can get it in any good model shop. Once again, I really thank you for making this review possible. With your help it was possible to check and get this kit. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye!